Ramadan. Ramadan, in Islam, the 9th month of the Muslim calendar and the holy month of fasting. It begins and ends with the appearance of the crescent moon. Because the Muslim calendar year is shorter than the Gregorian calendar year, Ramadan begins 10 to 12 days earlier each year, allowing it to fall in every season throughout a 33-year cycle. Islamic tradition states that it was during Ramadan, on the night of power Laylat al-Qadr, commemorated on one of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, usually the 27th night, that God revealed to the Prophet Muhammad the Quran, Islam's holy book, as a guidance for the people. For Muslims, Ramadan is a period of introspection, communal prayer, salat in the mosque, and reading of the Quran. God forgives the past sins of those who observe the holy month with fasting, prayer, and faithful intention. Ramadan, however, is less a period of atonement than it is a time for Muslims to practice self-restraint, in keeping with Saum to refrain, one of the pillars of Islam, the 5 basic tenets of the Muslim religion. Although Saum is most commonly understood as the obligation to fast during Ramadan, it is more broadly interpreted as the obligation to refrain between dawn and dusk. To refrain between dawn and dusk from food, drink, sexual activity, and all forms of immoral behavior, including impure or unkind thoughts. Thus, false words or bad deeds or intentions are as destructive of a fast as is eating or drinking. After the sunset prayer, Muslims gather in their homes or mosques to break their fast with a meal called iftar that is often shared with friends and extended family. The iftar usually begins with dates, as was the custom of Muhammad, or apricots and water or sweetened milk. There are additional prayers offered at night called the Tawari prayers, preferably performed in congregation at the mosque. During these prayers, the entire Quran may be recited over the course of the month of Ramadan. To accommodate such acts of worship in the evening, work hours are adjusted during the day and sometimes reduced in some Muslim-majority countries. The Quran indicates that eating and drinking are permissible only until the white thread of light becomes distinguishable from the dark thread of night at dawn. Thus, Muslims in some communities sound drums or ring bells in the pre-dawn hours to remind others that it is time for the meal before dawn, called the sahur. Saum can be invalidated by eating or drinking at the wrong time, but the lost day can be made up with an extra day of fasting. For anyone who becomes ill during the month or for whom travel is required, extra fasting days may be substituted after Ramadan ends. Volunteering, performing righteous works, or feeding the poor can be substituted for fasting if necessary. Able-bodied adults and older children fast during the daylight hours from dawn to dusk. Pregnant or nursing women, children, the old, the weak, travelers on long journeys, and the mentally ill are all exempt from the requirement of fasting. The end of the Ramadan fast is celebrated as Eid al-Fitr, the feast of fast breaking. In some communities, Eid al-Fitr is quite elaborate. Children wear new clothes, women dress in white, special pastries are baked, gifts are exchanged, the graves of relatives are visited, and people gather for family meals and to pray in mosques. Thanks for watching my video. and happy Ramadan to everyone.